Get ready for the dopest show around, the Whiskey No Chaser Podcast.
Yo, this Whiskey No Chaser Podcast, the illest podcast on the planet. It's your boy Hector. Today I got a very special guest for the second time, because the first time we recorded the shit and I wound up losing the fucking footage, and it's all my fault, and I apologize. It's Lil Mike, PK, and Kid. He might be PK, he might be Kid. We're going to find out about that.
Nah.
Let's see. Yo, what up, homie?
How's it going, man? Thanks for having me back. Appreciate it.
Thank you for giving me a chance again and coming back, because somebody else, another person would have probably got pissed and be like, fuck this nigga, I'm not coming back on the show. But you were very cool about it.
Yeah, I mean, this shit happens, so it's a crazy world now, so. But some stuff has happened since the last time I was here, so
it works out. I think it does work out. I would have wanted to have you back on anyway. So at the end of the day, we're gonna put everything in one shot right now. Fuck it, let's go.
100%. Well, like I said, we'll start from.
Let's start from the beginning,
right from the beginning. How this whole PK and Kid, I guess, Instagram fan page got started.
Yeah.
Back in October of 2016, after busting my chops for years to get me on social media. I had a Facebook page years and years prior to that, but I'm kind of a sarcastic guy, so a lot of times that don't go over well on social media. So you're always arguing with somebody. So
it's the worst.
I got rid of that,
and
so my wife kept asking me to go on Instagram. It's just pictures, but I don't know. This wasn't my thing.
I get it.
So her and my daughter grabbed my phone one day in October of 2016, and they just make me an Instagram page. So I was like, I fought. I was like, I told you I don't want it. So she's like, just do it. It'll be fun, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So I says, you know what? I'm going to make it a PK and Kid fan page.
Okay? So you were already at that time fucking with PK and Kid. You saw it everywhere.
Yes.
But you didn't have the shirts or anything yet. You were
at that time. The only thing that I had, I didn't have no shirts, no decals or nothing on the car. The only thing I had was a 2015 Durango that I bought brand new in 2015. And I'm going to say maybe after 6 months, I got customized plates that said PK Kid. Because, I've been fans of them since I was 14 years old. Okay.
So you're not PK or Kid, you're saying now on here.
No. So let me put the record straight. And you know what? Guys are going to watch this. People will watch this and say he's lying.
Still going to think
you are. Still going to think I am. But no, for the record, I am not PK and I am not Kid. And what I will say is that PK and Kid are two people. Most people that don't know graffiti think it's the PK Kid and that it's one person, but it's not. That's something that, it's not a secret, I could say. They are
everybody
two
knows that. Anybody that knows,
right. So, it's two people and I'm neither one of them. So, I make the fan page. Okay. I start posting pictures. Now at the time, I really don't know nothing about Instagram, and I don't know if there's 1,000 PK Kid fan pages out there. I don't know because I don't know nothing. So, I start posting a couple of pictures, and slowly but surely I start getting some followers, and people start writing me saying, oh, there's never been a page like this. This is cool.
Nice.
So, and the pictures that I'm posting are just pictures that when you Google PK Kid, you see on the internet. So I'm just taking those pictures and putting them on my Instagram page. So it started getting, a little bit of a following. And I told my daughter one day, I was like, you know what? Maybe I can get PK or Kid to sign the truck. Like just a little tag on the dashboard.
A little tag.
Yeah, just a little tag on the dashboard. So she says to me, Dad, you've never even seen a graffiti writer, which is the truth. I never tagged. I was a fan of Staten Island graffiti and PK and Kid. That's really all I know. So I was like, maybe not, but who knows? If you're good to people and stuff, you don't know what's going to happen. So, it could happen, probably not, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
So I kind of put it out there that I would like PK or Kid or both to sign my Durango on one of my posts. Yeah. So somebody wrote me, okay, and said, if you want to get in touch with Kid, contact this person. So that's what I did. I wrote this person a DM. Okay, didn't know this person from a hole in the wall. And you could see on Instagram when somebody reads something because it says seen. So they read it and they didn't respond to me. So I was like, I'm not going to push it. I mean, what else could I do?
You tried.
Right. So I started, still posting pictures. And I says, you know what? Let me post maybe some pictures of my job and stuff of my family. So, because I started thinking maybe this person that I
it
wrote
looks
to,
too weird,
it may look like I'm a cop or something. So let me put it out there that I'm a utility worker.
Yeah.
So now people will be like, he's a kid. He's a utility worker.
Yeah,
So
of course.
he climbs telephone poles.
He's got it. He's got the buoy and everything. Get him up there.
Yeah, no, I dig holes. I don't climb telephone poles. So, so this person read it, and I'm going to say about 3 weeks later, maybe a month later, this is like in maybe January, I wrote them. Okay. So the page was up and running for a couple months. Okay. They wrote me back and said, I'll see what I can do. That was it. Okay.
Wow.
See what I can do. Okay.
So mysterious.
Right. See what I can do. So over the course of the next couple of months, me and this person kept, corresponding here and there, but nothing. I would never bring up PK and Kid. I would just, just basic graffiti
you were playing
stuff.
It cool, man.
Right. I wasn't going to bring it up. So now I got the plates, and I said, you know what? I'm going to get a couple decals on the truck. Okay. Couple PK and Kid decals. Some ideas that I had in my head, like pretty large decals.
Yeah.
So I take it to a place in Staten Island, and before the guy puts the decals on the truck, he's like, instead of doing this, why don't I wrap the truck in white, and they could just bomb the truck. They could hit the truck.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I'm not. Nobody's gonna graffiti my truck. I mean, why would I do that? So that wasn't even. It wasn't even a thought in my head that I was gonna start, getting the truck tagged up. I just wanted PK and Kid to throw up a little tag. That's all on the dashboard.
But that was a good idea.
Just something that. Yeah, well, now, in hindsight, and a lot of people do ask, is this a rap? Okay, because they don't think anybody's crazy enough to do this to a Dodge Durango and throw graffiti all over it. So, but that's later on in the story. So I get the decals on the truck, and still talking back and forth with this fella, but nothing about the truck getting signed. So I want to get some work done to the engine. Okay. I want to get a little stuff done to the engine. So one of the artists that I was talking to at the time says, take the truck to a certain shop. They do good work. Okay. I don't know nothing about trucks or nothing. So I was like, all right. So I take it to this shop one day, and I go inside. There's just one person working in there. And I was like, this is what I want to do. I says, you want to come outside and see the truck? So they come outside, and they're looking like at the truck, all bewildered and stuff. They're looking at the plates and the decals. And the guy says to me, does Kid know that you did this to your truck?
Oh, so so this dude knows him. So
right,
he's like, does Kid know?
Right. So the person that sent me to this shop knew that Kid was down with this shop, but didn't tell me that. He just kind of just led me in the right direction. So the guy comes out, and he's like all bewildered and stuff. I was like, I don't know if Kid knows if I did this. I'm not sure. He's like, man, I don't know if he would be cool with this. You're kind of putting his name out there. Like, even though I did it respectfully, it started hitting me like, damn, if they're not cool with this, I'm going to have to shut this whole thing down, because I don't want to bring heat on them or anything like that.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it's his brand. It's
right. It's
putting
his brand.
Polo on your truck on something.
Right.
It's not yours.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's like, listen, give me your number, and I'll get back to you, and I'll see what he says. I was like, all right. So I drive away, and I'm all down. I'm like, damn, I hope I may have to shut this whole thing down now. Right. So literally by the time I got maybe 5 or 6 blocks away, my cell phone rings, and it's the guy. He goes, is this Lil Mike? I was like, yeah. Now, I didn't say, when I introduced myself, I just said, Mike. I was like, yeah, this is Lil Mike. He goes, yeah, Kid knows all about you and your truck. You could do anything you want. So, come back. He doesn't care if I work on it.
As fuck.
And he said he'll sign your truck for you.
That is
so
fire,
I was like, damn, I mean, I don't know what was what made me more stoked, if Kid knew who I was or if he was going to sign my truck. So I was pumped. You know, so now I was like,
come to the podcast, PK Kid. Come to the podcast.
yeah, I don't know if that's gonna happen. But
Hey, you never know. Hey, I can blur your face and I can change your voice. I don't usually do the change voice anymore, but for you guys, I will do that. I will do the fucking face blur and the fucking
right.
voice.
Well,
gotta throw that out there. They're gonna watch this,
right? It's
so
out
at the end of the day, it'd be great to have him on. Oh my god, yeah.
Okay, so you know, he agrees to sign. So he didn't, and the thing is that when they did my truck, okay, did what they had to do. He didn't sign there. I didn't want to. I never asked like when is he gonna do? Like I just didn't want to be a pest. Like I didn't want to just keep asking. Right. So now I DM the guy that I talked to that said I'll see what I can do, and you know, he was like, you know what? I'll sign your truck too. Okay, I'll sign your truck too. Now I never asked him. He just kind of threw it out there. I'll sign your truck too. And I was like,
so you didn't say, who the fuck are you, nigga? I might not want you to sign my truck,
nah, I didn't say.
I'm just kidding.
I didn't say anything.
He was cool, man. He's hooking you up. Yeah, you can sign my truck, bro. Go.
So I was like, yeah, you know what? It may be cool to get some other guys in the truck and stuff. You know, throw up little tags, whatever. So the first two guys that signed the truck were a dude named Sharpie and RHE. Two separate guys. Sharpie does the shark art. Okay, so both of the dudes were in Staten Island, which is where I work. I live in Jersey. So I was like, you know what? I'll meet up with these two guys and, you know, I'll have them, you know, sign the truck. So they were the first two. I believe it was May 16th of 17. So we're talking about maybe 6 months after I started the page. So they put up, you know, little tags inside the truck. And right after that, Kid said, you know what? I'm ready to sign. So maybe he saw like me post that and he wanted to get in the truck. So, but once again, he didn't know what this truck was going to become, and neither did I. If I did, I would have said, fucking bomb the whole truck. Like, just do the whole truck. But he didn't, I didn't know, and he didn't know.
Big ass kid on the roof.
Right. Some, right?
Or PK.
Right. So.
Hold on, PK's on there too, right?
No, PK is not on there.
Where's PK? Do you know? Is he locked up?
No, he's not locked up.
All right,
he's
good.
just not. He's not. He has his reasons for not signing, but that's another story. Maybe.
I hope PK's not a dick. Hey, PK, are you a dick?
Nah, he's cool.
I hope you're a nice guy, man. This guy deserves it, man. Hook him up.
He's cool. I think in time. Time.
I'm just kidding, man. Hopefully, don't get offended, PK.
In time, I think he'll sign. But these guys are cool to me in other ways. Like, he's giving me a bunch of stuff to sell for charity and stuff. So
yeah, these guys are great dudes,
yeah,
man. That's what's up.
They really have taken care of me. So so he I was told just to leave it at my house and he'll come by, and you know, I didn't ask, you know, how does he know where I live? Nothing. I just
on some Mission Impossible
right,
shit.
Yeah. So he came by, he tagged the truck. Also Cope, K-O-P-E, not C-O-P-E. I'll get to him in a little bit. K-O-P-E. He signed the same day. They signed on the sun visors. So it wasn't even like really a spot that was like right out in the open. It was a spot kind of like, you know, I guess, you know, you'd have to pull down the sun visor to look at it. Also, Kid left a note on the headrest for my daughter, where she sits in the back seat. Maddie, good luck and dance, your friend Kid. So I was like, man, this is, you know, I was real stoked about that.
Yeah, man.
And I didn't mention this the first time, so I'm going to mention it now. When I heard Kid was going to come and do this, I was like, you know, should I leave something like as a sign of appreciation? Like, you know, because, you know, they don't do this. Like he doesn't do this. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to leave something in an envelope and I'll leave it on the dashboard, whatever, in the center console. And, you know, just basically just a little something saying thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what I did. Came out the next morning. The stuff was tagged. I was stoked. And then throughout the course of the next year, I found all little hidden spots that they threw up little tags, like little sneaky spots.
That is dope.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I found one about a year ago. So, I mean,
how fucking dope are these dudes, man?
Yeah,
Is this dude?
About a year ago, I opened up my, where you keep your sunglasses, because I don't even wear sunglasses, but I just opened it up for whatever reason. And there was a Kid Cope inside where the sunglasses were. So I was like, I'm still finding spots. They left stuff inside the engine. I mean, so it's
They lifted that bitch.
Yeah, just like little things here and there. So
that is ill.
Once I posted that, then it kind of just started blowing up. Like dudes were wanting to get in on tagging the
How'd
truck.
you find out about the bottom? Did he tell you? Did he say, hey, check out the bottom? Like,
no, the bottom is years later. This is just the inside. This isn't the outside. This is the beginning.
Oh, so there's multiple encounters.
And multiple kid encounters.
Yeah,
yes.
That's dope.
So he tagged it. Then let me see. I got my list
notes?
here. I got my notes here. Then after that, couple guys. These are all pretty big dudes that came through. Delay, sent, answer, deck, had, so, goal, mags, and Tio. They all signed, and they all signed on the dashboard. Okay, right in the front. So now this thing was really starting to take off. So now I know it's taking off. So I says, let me start learning a little bit more about graffiti and stuff. So because really all I know is kidding. I'm no expert on graffiti by any stretch of the imagination. It's basically Staten Island graffiti.
Yo, you know what? This is actually, I actually have to take this call. Fuck. Yeah, I have to take this.
Okay.
God damn it.
That's all right.
Hello? Hello? You know what? All right. I'm not taking this out. This is going to be what it is. What happened is that I had an important phone call that I needed to take. I didn't expect the call to come today, and I thought it was it. But it's one of those fucking marketing things. They'll call you with the same exact number, and they'll just switch one number, and you think it's that number,
right?
And that's literally what happened. So this won't happen again for the rest of the podcast. I'm gonna put it on Do Not Disturb. It was really important. If not, I wouldn't have done that. I'm so sorry that
That's all right.
But let's get back to it. I'm sorry.
All right,
Go ahead.
so now I'm trying to learn, some more about graffiti and stuff. So I reach out to Cope, COPE, okay? And I was like,
So you didn't know him or anything?
No, I didn't know him, no nothing.
You followed him on Instagram and you was like, hey, man, what's up? I
just started following him, and I sent him a DM and said, I'm starting to get my Durango tagged. Would you be willing to tag it? So he wrote me back right away, and he said, I don't want to say where he lives, but he said, I don't live in New Jersey, but I'll be in New Jersey, for 2 hours tomorrow. Meet me at this address and I'll do it.
Wow. So
the next day I took off, drove to where he told me to drive in Jersey, and he hit the inside of the truck, and he hit right when you go inside on the passenger, right by the front windshield. And he was tagging it, and he was like, man, I tagged everything in my life, and I'd never done anything like this. And he kept saying, man, this is probably going to take off. But he kept telling me I'm crazy for doing it. He's like, but this is something that's never been done. So now I'm starting to think, all right, this is cool.
There's some bootleg ones out there right now, though.
It's starting to take off a little bit where people are, matter of fact, people have written me from like Russia and done it. Like, you inspired me to do this to my car.
It's my Oldsmobile.
Yeah.
There's a lot of old-ass cars.
Nobody's doing it to a Dodge Durango.
Ain't nobody done it to something nice yet.
No, nobody's done it to something nice. So, I mean, they've done raps and stuff and maybe murals, but nothing where you're just getting tags and tag after tag. So then after that, I started reaching out to people, and I met up with an artist, GL, who signed the truck, and he put me onto Amuse and Send. And this is kind of how the outside of the truck really started getting bombed. So I went out to Queens and I met with Amuse. Okay, I met with his brother DL, who has since passed away. They signed the truck. And while I was with Amuse, he called Giz, who was Giz is one of the biggest of all time. So he had him on speakerphone, and he was a little bit under the weather. He's like, yo, you got to come over. You got to see this guy's truck. And I really didn't have a lot on the truck at the time, but he was like, come over and sign it for him. He's like, listen, tell him I'll sign it. I'm not feeling well today. We'll do it another time. So I was like, yeah, no problem. So got a couple of the guys in Brooklyn that day. I got 9-volt Minos, and just by chance, Crook, who's one of the biggest taggers of all time. Matter of fact, he says that he started the word Crooklyn. So I believe him. I mean, he's
Okay, fuck it.
you know.
You say so, bud.
So I mean, he's all over Brooklyn. He hits a lot of dumpsters and stuff.
Nah, I remember Crook. Yeah.
Yeah, he's been around for a long time. So he just happened to be walking by. We were by Spumoni Gardens on I think 86th Street or wherever it is, and when he walked by, he goes, I was talking to Fade today, and he was telling me about this truck. And Fade is somebody that I wanted to get to.
Dude,
his name is Fade is big time. So I got those guys. Maybe 2 weeks later, I went back to Brooklyn and I met up with Fade, and he hit the back of the headrest on the driver's side seat. So I was like, man, this guy.
No, let me ask you something. Since he did hollow, since in the streets, fills over hollows, would I be able to go over that since it's fills over hollows?
I don't know the rules.
Well, the graffiti rules, if you put hollows up. No, I'm just kidding. Just fucking whoever's on is on. No, because I'm looking. Yo, there's no fucking space. I'm trying to get on this damn truck, and I'm looking, and I'm going to have to get creative.
And once again, he was the first outside tag, and I didn't foresee what this was going to become, because I would have had him do
something bigger,
his
man.
big
Yeah.
fame, like clown character
with the eye, man.
Right.
Yeah,
I would have had him do that.
Yeah, you need that on there.
So I mean, I didn't know. So he did that on the outside, and maybe like a week later, I got Get Lost a Lot to hit the outside and paint. He was the first one to hit the outside and paint, but it was nothing really huge or nothing, just something in the back underneath where Fade had tagged.
Yeah.
Okay. So, now I'm gonna say it's like the middle of July. Okay. This is a good story. Okay. I got my niece.
I'll be the judge of that.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna like this one. I got my niece's wedding. Matter of fact, I can tell you the date. It's July 22nd, I believe, 17.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The morning of her wedding, I worked and I sprained my ankle. I wound up in the hospital. I was all fucked up. I mean, my ankle was like a balloon. Okay, but I had to go to the wedding. So I go to the wedding. It's at the Riviera in Brooklyn. Okay, so I park my truck. I tell the guy, I got to leave this truck right in the front. So I'm there for about an hour. Mind you, I could barely walk. I get somebody posts a picture.
Must have been miserable.
I was in a lot of pain.
Yeah, I wouldn't have went. I would have said, fuck my cousin. I'm staying home. But go ahead. Have something to give. Go ahead.
What did I say? Cousin? It was my niece. Hopefully
yeah, niece. I said.
So somebody posts Lil Mike's at the Riviera. So I was like, you know what?
That's ill.
I was like, this would be a cool story if I could get artists to come to the Riviera while the wedding is going on to sign the truck.
Yeah.
So, I reposted that and I was like, any artists that want to sign, just hit me up and I'll come outside and, open it up for you. And the first artist that came by was FT. Okay, he since has passed away too. Okay, so he came and rocked the truck.
FT?
Yeah.
You mean
FT.
Foot? Not Foot.
No, not Foot.
Oh, because he just passed.
Yeah, no. FT. So he came first and rocked the truck. After that, 4 guys showed up at once, and at this point it was dark out. That was Phasm 4, OG, Jasper, and Jade. And I was in a lot of pain. So I was like, listen, I hurt my foot. I was like, just give the key back to the valet when you're done. Just do whatever you got to do.
You're a fucking G. I don't think you give a fuck about this truck, bro.
So I was, I'm just trusting these guys, right? So
they'd be assholes to fucking.
Yeah, and you know what? No, nobody showed me. I mean, maybe a little bit of internet bullshit, but in person, I've been shown nothing but love. So I mean, and nothing but respect. So they're outside bombing the truck, and my brother walks outside, and he sees these dudes inside my truck.
What the fuck are these niggers doing? Hand the fuck. No, I'm just kidding. You guys are not racist. Just kidding. Okay.
So, my family don't know what I'm really doing to the
So you
truck.
didn't tell nobody.
Nah, but
A bunch of dudes bombing your
they
shit.
don't
outside.
even really even know. Like, my brother didn't even know I was getting my truck head. Because he's not on Instagram or nothing. So he sees these dudes. So he goes up. He's like, what the fuck are you doing to my brother's truck? And they were like, no. He gave us permission. And he was like, he gave you permission to write on the inside of his truck. So he just comes back upstairs and he's like, you know something? You're fucked. You are fucked up.
Mikey, you are fucked in the head, Mikey. That's my Jersey Shore, Mikey. I know you're from Staten Island, but it's kind of the same.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
So he was like, he just couldn't believe it. So anyway, those guys hit it. And I'm going to say a couple days later, I get a phone call and it's like a private number, right? And it's Giz. So he's like, listen, I couldn't hit it that day. I was like, he's like, but, I want to do something on the outside. Because I started, I posted the picture of Fade and it's like, I want to do something on the outside. And I was like, all right. He goes, yeah, we all come to this location. We're all going to hit it. And I was like, who's we? So he's like,
who's we, man?
Ghost and J.A. And I was like,
shit.
Yeah, I was like,
what?
I was like, I couldn't believe it. I was
J.A.,
like,
come to the podcast, bro. You're a fucking legend. Yeah.
So, I mean, I couldn't believe that this was going to happen.
Big deal.
Now, I don't know what he's going to do, but I'm just I'm going to go with the flow. That's it. So they tell me where to go. This is maybe a couple days later. I think it was a Sunday. So it was a beautiful day out. I go to this location. They start taping up the car and they just bomb the shit out of the car. And I'm
taping it up?
They're like taping like the windows and stuff and, like doing like a professional thing.
Wow,
like,
those dudes, they came through and they did it right.
I mean, dude, they did everything. I mean, it was unbelievable.
Let me ask you too, because, with spray paint, I mean, these dudes are pros, but they're still bombers. With spray paint, if you hit like certain things, you get that super drip. Did they use special paint?
Nah, well, you know what it is?
Giz,
he gets sponsored and stuff, so it was his paint. So
the
paint,
Montana,
the paint was real. The paint was good.
Yeah.
So they bombed it, and I'm watching these guys, and me and J.A. are bullshitting about the truck, bullshitting about work, and we're sitting there and we're having a barbecue, and I'm like, guys would chop off their arm to be in my position right now. Like, I mean, I'm just lucky because I did absolutely nothing to get to this.
You don't deserve that moment, sir. You don't fucking deserve it, and you got it.
I still don't think I deserved it. I'm just lucky.
Yeah.
So I basically, they bombed it, and after they bombed,
they saw the vision, though. I think that they saw the vision. It's a big deal, man. What you're doing, word.
And after they bombed it, it just kind of took off. A couple months later, I did an interview with DJ Flipside from Long Island, and he put that up on the internet, and that has over 100,000 views now. So it just everything just snowballed, and after those big time guys hit it, I get people every week writing me that they wanna hit the truck, and I don't really. Like, I have 7,000 followers, but in reality, that's literally nothing. I don't promote the truck. Like, if I was just a single guy and had really nothing else to do, I would have the truck out there all the time, but I just don't have the time or the energy. I'm going to be 50 in a couple weeks. So to promote it the way where it could really, really take off, I think eventually it'll
What do you take? TRT? What are you taking? What steroids?
I take gummy vitamins. That's what my wife buys.
No, because you look great, man. You're 50.
Thanks.
You're about to be 50. You look great. You're in fucking amazing shape.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? And
I'm not in that. I'd be in a lot better shape if the gyms were open, but that's another story.
Gotta work out at home now, buddy.
Yeah.
That's it.
I gotta join my wife. She keeps trying to get me to work out at home.
She's fit, man. You better fucking get into the aerobics. Whatever she's doing, you go do that.
Yeah, I gotta start.
Girls' workouts are hard, man. It's not like
I know. I can't do
all
it.
that fucking. Yeah, I did it with my wife yesterday. I left 5 minutes and I was like, I'm gonna go bang some weights downstairs.
She's into the Orange Theory, and I'd probably have a stroke now if I did
Orange Theory. What is that?
It's Orange Theory Fitness. It's like boxing and a treadmill and
high intensity shit.
Yeah, all high intensity.
Yeah.
So,
Beast, man.
yeah,
She'll fuck you up.
she will. I gotta stay
Shout
on
out
the
to
good.
Jen.
I gotta stay on a good side too. Plus, she indulges me with all this nonsense with the
You got a good
with
wife.
the truck and everything else. So does my daughter too. Shout out to Maddie. Thank
Shout
you,
out to Maddie, yo. Shout out. Yeah, word.
Yeah. So after they hit it, it kind of just took off, and I'm gonna say about a year from there. I'm gonna say like in May of, I guess now. No, let me backtrack. In December of 17, so I guess a couple months after those guys hit it, and I did my interview and everything else, I was hanging out with one of kid's friends. Okay, just bullshitting and stuff. And
Look at you. You're in the circle.
Yeah,
but just not in the middle yet.
No. So I was hanging out with one of kid's friends, and when I went to leave, there was a couple T-shirts in a bag on my hood of my car, and I know it wasn't his friend because he was in my presence the entire time. So, and in the bag,
So there was nobody. All right. So the whole time, and then I don't know, you have something on your truck.
Right. I go out. We
So there was nobody in the background chilling that you probably weren't paying attention to.
No, nobody
too much?
was there. So I went back. I went outside, went to leave, and there was a bag on the hood of my truck, and it was 3 T-shirts, okay, and also in the bag was the envelope with what I had left him when he originally signed. So kind of that was like his way of saying, you know what, it ain't about that, homie. Like I'm just happy that you're a fan, and I did this for you, but I don't need nothing like that. So that was like the ultimate in
Yeah, because a lot of these graph niggas is grimy. They'll take anything from you.
Well, a lot of them sell this stuff, and that's
that's cool.
that's
cool.
That's whatever they do. I mean, there are guys that have never really threw up that I see selling sticker packs and stuff like that,
like,
and all sorts of
who knows you, bro, that you're
canvases. But hey, if that's their thing, then that's their thing. But these guys were never about the money, because if they were, they'd be wealthy. I mean, they could sell.
They could Banksy up. They could get their Banksy on, man.
They could sell a lot. I mean, they could write a book and it would sell 100%.
Facts.
So that's not what they're about. So I appreciated that like you wouldn't believe. So now the truck is still getting bombed, and at this time, Staten Island had no graffiti. Okay, it wasn't like it is today. I mean, today the island is covered. I mean, there's no more vandal squad, so there's really nobody out there.
Everything's getting hit right
everything.
now.
New York City, but like Staten Island was like a borough that
Going back to the 80s,
nobody would go to. In the 90s, it was hit. In the 80s, it was hit. But after that, they cleaned it up, and you never really you'd see a sporadic tag here and there, but nothing like the way it is today.
Staten Island made sure they kept the outside riffraff out. Apparently.
Well, I mean,
when it comes to graph,
because if you did something in Staten Island, okay, the vandal squad would be all over you. Like, that's it. So I guess they all knew that, and it was kind of like an unwritten rule. Don't go here because they're gonna bust our chops. Plus, if you were from Staten Island, you would never throw up in Staten Island. Okay, now dudes, they throw
murder
up,
in that shit.
Yeah, they murdered
in front of the house, right across the street. They're like,
yeah, they don't care. I mean, it's you know who all the big ones are from Staten Island. Like, I don't want to give away. Like, I thought about it, and I don't want to say where anybody lives, so I'm not going to say.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, but I have a list of all the names that I can remember that have signed the truck. So I'll give a shout out at the end. And
that's where the cops can get all the names and put them together.
It's not a complete list though. Because I just can't remember
of course.
everybody that is signed.
Yeah, man, you shout out who you want to shout out, and then you know what? It's true, man. You do have a lot of people, and you have a lot. You know what? You don't discriminate because you also have people that nobody knows on there, like at all.
Yeah,
and shit.
No, I let anybody. Matter of fact, on the insides of the doors, I let little kids, rock the insides of the doors because kids are attracted to the truck. I mean, you see to them, it's like artwork. It's like, like a coloring book.
Now, can we go over those kids things? Because those kids don't give a fuck about. They're never gonna remember that.
No, nobody can go over anybody. It's got to be respect.
God damn it! Because I'm like, I'm looking for space. I'm like, if these stupid little kids get out of my. I'm just kidding. I walked around his truck and I found the one spot that I might be able to get on. It might have to be the roof and shit.
Well, the front of the roof is already taken, but as long as if it's the back.
It's the back, and it's like, right where the flap where it opens. I'm talking about. There's like a little area like this big that I was like, I could throw a nice. Like, I'm not gonna throw a tag. I just want to throw WNC. Okay. I want to represent the podcast on your shit because. The podcast, forget me. I want the podcast to be immortalized. I'm a part of the podcast anyway. Right. So once they find the podcast, they'll find me. But no matter, I want the podcast on your shit.
So and that's cool. In December of 17, that's like I just said that I got those T-shirts and I got that envelope back from Kid, and maybe a little bit before that, I never had anything signed by PK or Kid. I mean, I was a fan, but I never had anything. So, by my house on Route 18, I'm going to say this.
Hold on. So, what exactly was in the bag?
It was a T-shirt for my wife and 2 T-shirts for me.
Wow. So the T-shirts were what? They were printed, or they tagged themselves?
No, they were printed shirts. Matter of fact, one I've never worn is a 2X, so it's too big for me. It's brand new, so I might auction it off this year for charity. So we'll see what happens. I want to pay that one forward. Yeah. But the other one that he gave me, I still wear to this day. So
nice.
Right around before that, around November, on Route 18 by my house, there was an old piece of plywood. I didn't realize it was plywood until I actually drove up to it, but I had seen it for a long time, and I was like, you know what? I want to get a souvenir. I want something with their tags on it. And this was old. It was all. It was probably up for 10 years because it was a land for sale sign. Okay, on plywood, but the land was still for sale, and the for sale sign was completely gone. So I was like,
you know what? For sale anymore.
Right. So I want to grab this. So I pull up to it one day around 6:00, and it was right on Route 18. There was traffic. I was like, I'm just going to try to grab it. But I didn't realize it was an entire sheet of plywood that it was on. So I was like, I'm just going to have to grab it. So it was so old, it was screwed onto these stakes. And I just pushed it and it fell over. I threw it in the back of my truck. I brought it home.
It's misdemeanor, but it's okay.
And so my wife was like, what are you going to do with this? I mean, really, the only place I could keep it is in my garage. I mean, there's nothing.
So you just grabbed a random moldy ass piece of plastic.
Yes,
but did it have PK on it?
It had PK.
Oh, it had them on there. Okay,
it had them on there.
All right, because you didn't say that.
I take it home, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to auction it off for charity. So I says, I'll pick a charity. I'll pick St. Jude's Children's Hospital because any kids with cancer, there's no better charity in the world.
That's my first thing to go to.
Yeah, so
charity.
I put it up, and the first year that was the only item that I had, and I wound up getting $300 for it. Somebody came from Southern New Jersey and picked it up, and since then that was 17. So 18 and 19. I've done the same thing, okay? And PK and Kid have given me things to sell.
Now that piece of wood, have you kept up with it? Or
no, I mean, I'm not even. I just sold it. I mean, the other items that I have sold throughout the last 2 years, I kind of know the people better that have bought them, but this was just a random follower, and this was, kind of in the beginning when everything. Yeah. So I didn't have as many followers as I have now.
Dope, yeah.
So up to this date, I think we have over like $3,200 that I've been able to donate, through their graffiti. Matter of fact, just the other day, yesterday actually, I got in the mail from South Africa. The guy calls them block bots. He builds robots with little pieces of wood. Okay, so they're like 6 inches long. And he asked me if I could, he donated them to me to sell for charity if I can get artists to paint them. So I just got a confirmation from Civ Art.
Hold on, did you post it on Instagram? I just
posted it actually this morning.
Oh,
but
right,
I knew
haven't
that
been
I
on.
was getting them, so I reached out to Sivard, who does the like the snowman art. Okay, I figured that would look good on one of them, so he agreed to do it. And just today, Icky, okay, he's an artist on Instagram. He basically is what he does for a living. He does characters.
All right.
So he agreed to do one, and Robots Will Kill. Okay, he's big. He agreed to do one too.
I don't know what that is at this moment. Robots Will Kill. I've seen it somewhere. I don't know where.
It's Chris RWK is his Instagram.
I'll check it out later.
So he agreed to do one, and I'm sure I'll get somebody for the other one. So it's like
that's dope.
It's kind of like, you know, as the years go on, artists.
Those are going to be collabs, actually. That's going to be a big deal.
Other than PK and Kid, other artists have started to donate stuff, and you know, so I'm trying to do something. I'm trying to give back since this thing has been so good to me.
When you auction, though, you just what do you do? Just post it on your gram?
All I do is post it on the gram. I start an opening price at, say, $50 for something, and then I'll leave it up there for 24 hours, or maybe if it's a bigger item, like 2 or 3 days, and whoever bids the most.
You just go through the comments or whatever?
Yeah,
or
I go through the comments. If you want to bid on thing, or if you want to do a private bid, then just give me a DM, and then I'll post.
Write it down.
I'll post what the bid is on my page.
As you should.
And last year, PK did a giant bomb on a piece of plywood. Okay, and as it was going up, I got a message. You know, this is where it is. Go and get it before someone else grabs it, because it's not.
Oh, so he gave you like a scavenger hunt a little bit.
It's not gonna last. Somebody's gonna grab it. So go and grab it before anyone else.
Where does he hit you up on the gram, or he hits you up on your phone?
I have friends. There are some of his friends
person.
that
so he hits you up.
It's always the third person. It's never directly to me. The only time that I spoke to him directly through a message was, I'm gonna say, May or June of 18. He must have took one of his friends' phones, okay, and who I follow, and he follows me, and he DM'd me on his phone and said, you know, hi, this is PK. I just want to let you know that, you know, I appreciate everything I appreciate everything that you do, and, you know, especially all the stuff that you do for charity. And that was the only time that we communicated, but, you know.
So PK's not an asshole, man. PK is a nice guy.
So, I mean, he was, you know, and I know that they both appreciate me putting their name out there in a respectful way, and
they're so known. Even my kid since he was a kid, man. Since he was a kid, was you know, knew PK and Kid them. And shit, but it's just been because my son lives in South Jersey, he lives in Brick, so we have to hit the turnpike on the way down. So we would see them on the fucking rocks.
Right.
We'd see them on this building that they hit the weirdest place. And anytime I would see that, and then we see the water tower coming off fucking onto the parkway. So we're seeing this, and I'm like, look at that. And then my son's showing me shit that he's. It's just ridiculous.
Well, that's the thing with PK and Kid, is that they transcend graffiti. If you grew up in New Jersey and you're in your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, somebody says to you, you know, word association, well, what's PK Kid? Yeah. You're gonna, you know, somebody that don't know graffiti is gonna be like, oh, those are the names that are up on those buildings. Like, everybody knows who they are. So it's like, you know, when I'm out in the Durango, I mean, there's nowhere I could ever go in New Jersey where I'm not filmed. I mean, it's constant. It's constant. You see people, like, if I'm in the middle lane and someone's in the left lane and they're not passing me for like a mile, I know I know they're filming me. And I'll just look over and they'll just be like that with the camera. So, and I think the majority of them probably think that they're filming the PK Kid, because they just don't realize.
Yo, I just ran into PK Kid, my nigga.
They don't realize that, you know, they're not going to put themselves out there like that.
Hold up. How the fuck do you, because you have your windows, the front windows aren't hit up.
No, Kid did a tag on the front driver's side window. So that window is hit up.
All right. Now, because all right, so the back is all hit up. You can't see.
Yeah, you can't
you're
see
driving
out
a
the
van
back.
Pretty much.
Yeah, you can't see out the back, and you can't see out the passenger or the driver's side windows behind my seat.
Now, you can see your mirrors though, right?
I could see my mirrors. I can't see
Switch
that
lanes.
the mirror on the inside has stickers on it, and the back is tagged. So that, like you said, you're driving a van. You can't see out the back. But if you back up, you have a backup camera. So
Oh, yeah. You backed into my driveway.
Yeah, it's not the biggest deal in the world. So
Yeah, so you don't feel like it's unsafe to drive.
at night, at
But you can
night,
still put
it's
your windows down.
At night, it's kind of dark, but it's nothing where it's like I'm in jeopardy of crashing or anything like that. It's
Yeah.
nothing crazy like that. So, but I don't drive it as much as I used to now because it's just so far out there that, especially if I'm with my wife and my daughter, it's just constant attention, which, for me, I don't care because it's something I enjoy and talk about.
How much longer are you planning on keeping it?
Well,
Because
I'm
it
gonna
is
say,
something.
I'm going to
special.
say I got to at least make it to Florida. Okay.
Or at least a daily driver or a driver because you do drive it, right?
Yeah, well, there's
So-
50,000 miles on it now, and
Yeah.
I don't drive it at all
Uh.
in the fall or the winter. I'll drive it sporadically
All
here
right, so
and
you
there.
have
and
other
this-
cars. Your wife
yeah,
has a car and
right,
you have a
and
car
I, and I
that
have
drive
right in the
normal.
beginning of
Yeah.
when this all started, it was just the Durango going back and forth. But then
Yeah.
as it started blowing up and the attention got too much,
Yeah.
I wound up leasing something for my wife, and I took her car, and that's what I go back and forth pretty much to work all the time. In the summertime, I'll take the Durango, but like I said, it's constant. It's constant attention. I mean,
Yeah, forget about it. I
haven't.
That's a show car, bro.
Yeah, I haven't been bothered by. That's really one of the number one questions I get is, do the cops bother you? How many times you get pulled
Do you?
over? I really don't get pulled over a lot. I got pulled over twice in, I guess this is almost 4 years now. And
But
when
you don't even drive it everywhere, so really you're not gonna get pulled
I know,
over.
you know what
Yeah.
it is? When I drive it in my area, all the cops know me already. I mean, they know my truck. Okay, so they don't bust my chops. And when I'm on the turnpike, like even coming here, I passed a couple cops that were facing my direction. So they were just parked.
Yeah.
You're checking speeders. So I know they saw it, but you know what it is? I think that there's just so much there. Like a cop's mentality is like, do I really even want to get involved in this? And do I, so
And
they
at the end
just,
of the day,
they just
really-
kind of let me go.
People have advertisements on wrapped cars
Right.
all the time, so
See, the only-
they probably think it's an advertisement
And
if
the
they
on-
don't understand.
And the only thing, I mean, they could, if they wanted to bust my chops, they could get me for the tint. You can't have any writing on your front windshield. My headlights and my taillights are smoked out. They could get me on that. I have a license plate cover. The only time I've ever gotten a ticket was for a license plate cover, and that was in the beginning when there wasn't any tags on the outside. There was only the decals. I went into Brooklyn and I was followed going over the Verrazano Bridge, and he pulled me over right when I got over the bridge. And the only other time I got pulled over was in Staten Island.
Were you speeding?
No, I
he
try to
literally
drive.
pulled you over for
Yeah, I
that.
try to drive, especially with that.
Hey,
I mean,
man, fuck you, man.
if you're speeding in that's a
Yeah,
reason
but
that they're going to
they
pull you
shouldn't have
over.
given you a ticket for that. It's something you could take off. Usually, us as men, we have tools in our cars.
Right.
We could take that off right now. And I actually offered. Like, I almost got a ticket for one once, and I was like, "Listen, man, I got tools. I'll take it off right
Right.
now." And he just like, "Nah, just a warning. Keep it going."
Yeah,
He knew he was
so
an
that was
asshole.
the only time I got a ticket, and the only other time I got pulled over in Staten Island, but they just checked my license and they wound up letting me go. The only other time I got pulled over, I never got pulled over in New Jersey. It was about 2 years ago. It was a windswept rainstorm, and I was getting on the turnpike from Route 18, and it was raining real bad. It was about 5:30 in the morning, and all of a sudden, whoop, whoop, I pull over right before I get on the entrance, and I'm like, damn. I mean, this dude's gonna pull me over in a rainstorm. Like he's gonna get like it was rain. If you open the window,
fucks.
if you open the window, the rain's gonna come in. So comes over to the thing. I go to hand him my license and registration. He's like, no, I didn't pull you over for that. He goes, I just wanted to let you know I'm from the Bronx. This truck is the coolest thing I ever seen. I just wanted to pull you over to tell you that. And
I
that
would have
was
told
it.
my officer, "Do you think this is cool?" Because I was probably on my way to work, asshole. How about that?
No, but
I was on
he-
my way to work. No, just kidding.
Yeah, he was cool. So, and that was it. And that was the only other time that, anytime I say, I don't get pulled over, I always think I'm going to jinx myself. So as I leave here, they'll probably be waiting for me at the bottom of the
You
block.
will not be pulled over, so I put the energy out there. I sent it out. That's
right.
the energy. You got it, bro.
All right. So, the cops don't harass me. So,
Good.
you know,
Plus, you wear
Matter of fact,
the privileged skin. No, I'm just kidding.
White privilege. Maybe that's what it is.
No, literally just kidding. I mean, it probably is, but I don't know.
I actually got a couple cops in my town to actually sign inside the truck. I've asked a couple along the way. Couple of like, nah, I can't do that. But these cops were like, they were cool. They were like, this is like a community outreach or something.
Are they in a space that maybe I can go over? I'm so looking for a good spot.
They're on one of the doors. Well, I tell people now you got to get in where you fit in because there aren't too many spots left. So
yeah. Nah, it's all good. I'm going to find something. Like, I already found my one spot, but I prefer, I probably have to go get a ladder and shit, which I have, and I can get on.
All right. So, yeah, well, I originally got the PK and Kid on the top of the truck, and I had the idea from the buses that have the numbers on the top of the truck in case, I guess if it's hijacked or whatever it is, you could see it from a helicopter or a plane, whatever. So I was like, you know what? It would be cool to put the numbers up there. So this way, even when I pull up to a bus on an expressway or whatever, people are taking pictures because they could see down and they.
Hold up. So what do you have on top again? You have the. I could have sworn I saw a big thing bombed.
Yeah, there
up
is.
There
Well, originally I just got the letters
PK Kid,
PK
right?
Kid.
Yeah.
And then these are two artists that actually travel to me. Giggles, who's one of the only women to hit the truck. Couple other, but she's definitely the
Who's
biggest.
Giggles?
Giggles, I believe she's from the Bronx, but she's big. Okay, she's all over the place. I'll show you her
I fuck
Instagram.
with Giggles.
Giggles and Life. Okay.
Or is it Gigs? Because there's a Gigs.
No, it's Giggles.
Giggles. Okay. No, I wasn't disrespecting you, Giggles. I just I was confused as into.
And she'll tag GS too, but her tag name, I guess.
GS. All right, so I've seen GS. See. I knew it. I knew this person.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was a woman.
She came with Life, who's also
that nigga Life. He's coming in September.
Okay, from the Bronx. They hit the top of the roof, and I put a couple big stickers. There's these dudes now. What they do, and they're not the first ones to do this, but they've taken it to a level that's incredible. Is they get into the bus stops and the old phone, payphone advertisements, and they put their. It's like an advertisement, okay, but they put their tags up in these advertisements, like not just sprayed or anything, like professionally. Like these dudes are printing this somewhere, and that's Detour, Kest, Day, and Ribs. And they're
that's ill. I didn't know they were doing that.
Yeah, they're called the Graffiti Art Kings, GAC. That's what Kest has this sticker where he mimicked. That's what a lot of the guys do. They mimic an advertisement, but they put their name in that advertisement. Kest did the Best Buy symbol, like that little yellow, whatever the hell it is, the yellow tag.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, the tag on it.
Right.
Yeah.
So he put Kest GAC in that symbol, and that's it's everywhere. I mean that. So I have a couple of those stickers on top of the roof. Matter of fact, these guys. I mean, like I says to you, it's been nothing but love. These guys actually invited me to their, I guess I call it their back cave, where they do all their work and make all their stuff and make their signs and everything else. So I was hanging out with them one day, and it was cool. That's another thing too, which I didn't realize when I started all this, is that stickers are a big part of graffiti game nowadays.
Once you put the work in, though, just to let it be known, because I've heard from other writers that they don't respect sticker bombers, because there's sticker bombers,
right?
But you got to put the work in the street first, and then you could be like, all right, I'm gonna get sticker decals and throw them up. That's what from what I've heard and all that.
That's something like.
It's the game, man.
Yeah, I guess that's somebody's opinion. I mean, I don't. If some people maybe start out at that, and some people maybe tag and then move their way to stickers, because I guess a lot of the sticker guys are older, whereas they can't.
Yeah, they're not
really
trying
not
to
out
fucking
there.
be risking it so much. They already put the work in back in the days. People know them, so all they're doing is, and it's cool.
And
definitely
two of the biggest to ever do it. I mean, these dudes are in like, every state and all over the world is Had and So. They were actually two of the first ones to actually sign the Durango. Okay. I got in touch with them early on. This is, when it was just on the dashboard, and their stickers are all over the truck too. I had a lot of stickers on the outside, but stickers on the outside don't last. The weather beats them up. So now if I get a sticker, and I've gotten stickers from artists literally all over the world, okay, I'll throw up their sticker on the inside just so they could, I guess say that they got inside the Durango, because that's like a big thing for artists. Like I know, like I have some of the biggest of all time, but I know that I have guys on there that have probably thrown up their first tag, but they want to be able to say, I got inside the Durango. So to me, it's all.
I just feel like you need to discriminate a little more, buddy.
Yeah, I don't.
Now this guy that does nothing is not a. Hold on, I'm just gonna be devil's advocate.
Right.
I don't give a fuck. It's your truck. You do whatever the fuck you want.
Right.
But I'm as
well, what you're saying, other artists have told me.
Yeah,
the
it's like,
same
hey
thing.
man, this guy, who the fuck is this kid? Like you're gonna be. This thing's gonna be in a museum one day.
Yeah.
Like I'm not even worthy personally, but I'm actually fuck that, I am worthy because I do have a podcast that talks to people.
On
shit.
there, so,
No, you're worthy because it's your fucking truck. You do whatever the fuck you want. You know what I'm saying? You and your whole family are worthy, even cousins. All right? But what I'm trying to say
I
is
do have a couple nieces on there, so
yeah, why not? Fuck it, they're allowed. But I'm saying like when it comes to your truck is gonna one day be somewhere important, and it's gonna represent a lot of the riders of this time. Now, if you have fucking Jumpy that nobody knows on there, they're gonna be like, fucking Jumpy was killing it that day, back in the day. Like people from, I'm talking about 20 years from now, that don't know that. They're like, yo, you ever heard of Jumpy? Jumpy's been killing it forever.
But here's the thing too, which I look at it. If it's somebody's first tag, right? Everybody starts out as a toy.
You saw it as the come up.
Everybody starts out as a toy, so maybe that first tag is gonna lead for them to be one of the best artists of all time.
So you started a criminal.
Some of these, some of these artists now they make their livings are selling their artwork. They graduated from just bombing the streets to now they're selling. Yeah, that's what they do for a living. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, it's all good. Like I said, I'm playing devil's advocate. At the same time, I feel the same way though. Like I feel it the way because, like I said, your shit's gonna be in a fucking museum one day, killing it. And there's going to be fucking Jumpy that did no work in the street. And he's going to be a part of this, a wonderful history.
And let me give a shout out. I'm going to give a shout out to my sister.
Shout out to Jumpy.
Not to my sister-in-law, Monica, who her daughter was the one that was getting married that day that I had the sprained ankle. This is really before anything really took off.
Yeah.
She told me, she's like, you know what? This truck's going to be in a museum one day. And I was like, nah, it's not going to be. Like, I did not see the vision until Giz and Ghost and JA hit it. After they hit it, I was like, this is gonna take off. Like
now have you spoken to I know the last time we spoke, you were interested in the Florida Museum for your truck.
Yeah.
Now, have you spoken to them recently? Do you have anything going on with them? Talk to me.
Well, you know what? I wrote them a couple of times and they never really responded to me. So
if y'all motherfuckers don't fucking handle that, somebody else will. And we don't need you if you don't fucking handle that, to be honest.
That's where I really would like the truck to wind up one day. I mean,
it would be dope, but
to me, a graffiti museum would be the place to
let's
go.
start our own fucking graffiti museum in Jersey, bro. We have a lot of history in Jersey. We have a lot of great riders that have influenced a lot of people worldwide from Jersey. So at the end of the day, we can start our own.
Well, as a matter of fact, you asked me how long I'm gonna keep it.
Yes.
I retire in 5 years, so 100% I got to keep it to retirement because I'm retiring in Florida. So I want to be able. I want to take the ride down with it, and I want to enjoy it for a year or two in the nice weather. Also, I want to enjoy it for at least a year or two and drive it to Miami for Art Basel because that truck shows up at Art Basel. That truck is going to be a star. I mean, I parked.
It's coming out of magazines and all that.
If I park that in front of the graffiti museum, I mean, dudes are going to go crazy over that truck. Because even though a lot of people around here know the truck, there's still, thousands and thousands of artists that are, big that still really don't know because I don't put it out there like that. So I think if I were to show up at an event like that, it would definitely blow up even more. And if I'm retired, I could have a little bit more time to devote to promoting it and, hopefully one day selling it and getting as much money as I possibly can. Because that's another thing too I want to mention is that when I do sell it, I want to actually go to St. Jude's Hospital. I think it's in Memphis, Tennessee, and actually,
it was in PA for some reason.
I know it's in Tennessee. I think it's Memphis. And I want to donate whatever I make from the truck to St. Jude's Hospital because I always said, you know what, I don't want to make money off of the artist. Like if I would have
a couple stacks for yourself, sir.
If I were to sell this in 10 years, I'm going to get book value for the truck, which would be close to nothing at that time. So,
Yeah, but what if you get 210,000 stacks for it? I mean, I think you should keep 100 for yourself and then send 110
you know what?
to Jude.
My dad used to tell me, what you have is worth only what somebody's willing to pay for it. So,
I just put that number out there. It might be. I would like 10 stacks for putting that number out there.
I don't think I could ever take anything less than $50,000. I think.
Of course not. That's ridiculous, bro.
I think it'll be worth in time. I think it'll be worth a lot more than that.
A lot more, bro. Hell yeah. I'm telling you, 200 and something thousand, bro. There's no reason for you to get less.
Maybe a million. Why not $1 million?
Why not a fucking million, bro? I'm about that lifestyle, bro. Yeah. I'm about that positive energy, and I want you to get what you deserve.
Cheers to that.
Yes, sir. So this might be good luck. Bad. They say it's bad luck to cheers water and liquor, but I don't believe it. Yeah, man. So why not?
Let me get to the outside.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Okay, so I'm gonna fast forward now to September of 19. So last September, I was like, you know what? All the stickers on the back window were coming off. They're all faded and stuff. I was like, I want to give Kid the entire back window because the back of the truck is in the most. I mean, the back of the truck has been, shared on hundreds of graffiti sites and probably has like hundreds of thousands of likes. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to take the stickers off. Maybe Kid will do the back window. So I got in touch with one of his friends and I says, would he do the back window for you? He's like, he got back to me. Yeah, he'll do the back window for you, but he wants to take the truck somewhere and do something else to it. Are you cool with that? I was like, yeah, whatever. I'll just leave the keys, take the truck. So I was told what day, leave the keys in the truck, left the keys in the truck. The next day I come out, truck is there. The back window is completely bombed. Okay. Did the whole back window, did a spot above the front tire, which I saved for him. Okay. Then I'm going to say I went to work that day. A couple hours later, I got some photos and the photos were of the truck up on a lift with the bottom of the truck tagged with a Monster Kid and a cope on the oil pan. I was like, this is fucking unbelievable. I was like, this guy took the truck and put it on a lift and bombed the undercarriage of the truck.
Yeah.
So then I took it to work maybe a couple of days later and we have a shop there. So I had the guy put it up on the lift and, I got some dope even though they had sent me a couple pictures, I took some really good pictures of the undercarriage and eventually I'm going to get maybe like stickers or something made that can go on the outside of the truck that shows underneath the truck because depending on where the truck winds up, you may never see that the undercarriage is bombed. And I want people to know that this truck is bombed from head to toe.
I got a suggestion for that. So when they do put it in the museum, you have to tell them, fucking put it on a rack like that.
Right, on that. That's
with
what
a mirror under it.
Yeah.
You see what it is. With a mirror so you can look at it perfect or whatever, but they have to fucking make sure that, and a mirror on top so they can see the top. You know what I'm saying? Something, maybe float the truck up, whatever it is, but they need to see everything. It's a fucking three-dimensional situation you got.
It is. There's some, and people, when they first come to see the truck, like artists, everybody says, it's 100 times better in person. Like they can't believe.
I was excited when I saw it.
They can't believe that the entire inside is bombed. So, I'm just I'm blessed. I mean, these guys gave me a Rolling Black Book. I didn't do anything. Like people are like,
Rolling Black Book.
Yeah. Or I got a 1980s subway car, but graffiti's back in the city, so maybe I have a 2020 subway car.
Yeah, no. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Fuck. Shit.
So, I mean, like I says, if that dude would have came out that day or called me up and said, you know, kid is not cool with what you're doing, like, you know, I would stop. It would have been shut down right then and there. None of this ever would have happened. So, I mean, it was that one phone call and the one guy contacted me and telling me, you know, if you want to get the kid, contact this person. Like everything just snowballed and one thing led to another. And, you know, I'm lucky, basically.
Hold on. What was the name of the mechanic? You said it again. The mechanic that hit up the truck the first time. They said, "Oh, I'm gonna hit it too." Did you put that out there? Or you didn't want to put that out. The guy that the original mechanic that he was like, "Oh, I'll hit it too," and you were like,
it wasn't a mechanic. It was a guy that I was talking to on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't put his name out there. Still.
Did you put it out there already?
I think maybe I did put it out there.
Yeah,
already.
because at the end of the day, you're not mentioning where he works or anything.
Well,
you're not mentioning anything.
Yeah, no. Well, I'll put it out there. It's Tio. Tio is the one that said...
No, you didn't put it out there because I would have remembered that. And
Tio's the one that said... Tio's the one that I contacted and was so excited because I was becoming friends. Now, I never met this person before, but I was becoming friends with him on Instagram.
Legendary Tio,
and
man.
I was like, you know, I'm so excited. You know, kid agreed to hit my truck. And that's when he DM'd me back. Oh, okay, cool. I'll sign too. And he had told me, like, afterwards, he kind of was like just half kidding. But I took it as serious. And if he didn't say that, I certainly didn't have the vision of doing all this to my
Shout
truck.
out to Tio, man.
So, I mean, it may not have ever gotten done. So,
Tio, man, come to the show. Yeah, throw that out there. He's gonna watch this.
Well, he's in Tampa now, so.
All right, so Tio, fly to the show. Come through whenever you get back to Jersey, to New York or something.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's kind of responsible for.
Wow.
Also, too, let me give a shout out to Had and So. They're the two sticker kings. Okay, they had a lot to do with this whole project getting off the ground. And So actually told me when he met up with me that he had me checked out and made sure that I wasn't a cop. So I think him doing that, then him putting the word out there that this guy is cool.
It's legit.
Okay,
yeah.
He's not a cop. He's not looking like... I started getting a reputation as somebody that was just a fan of graffiti and wanted his truck signed. And whenever I meet up with an artist, I really don't ask a lot of questions, you know, because I don't want anyone to feel like I'm fishing for any type of information. Yeah. I mean, there's still artists today that are leery to meet with me. So
no, trust me, even me, with the show, you know, people know that I've had other people on and I take care of them. I treat them right. I make sure that they're not gonna get like nobody that comes to my show will ever get caught because of my show.
Right.
Because I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna make sure you're good. You know what I'm saying? Like any clips that I have of you without a mask on or whatever, because you know now I have my guy blurs their faces out. That shit is gone. We're not saving it. It's not. It's done.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want to fucking play nobody out for no reason. So, you know, I understand where you're coming from. You're in the same fucking boat.
If I could, a couple artists that I would love to get on here. If I could, like people have asked me too, is there anybody that's not on here that you would like to have on? I mean, obviously, PK is number one, and eventually he'll be on there. I'm not going to talk about it, but eventually he'll be on the truck. Okay.
But where? That shit is fucking. It's like
I have a spot.
Full tattoo.
I'm saving something.
Oh,
I'm saving something.
PK, you got a spot, dog.
I'm saving something. But a couple other artists I would love to have. I'd love to have Miss 17. Okay, if I could get a 17 on the truck, that would be
she's
dope.
Legend.
Okay, Sinus. Okay, Sinus is killing it. He's been killing it for many years. I'd like to get him.
Sinus is fire.
And a couple Jersey artists. I'd like to get Adopt 6. Okay, because he gets in some of those heaven spots too.
Adopt 6, I heard, is has other tags, so I'm not gonna fucking put the other ones out. The other one out, but he's legendary.
Okay, and the guy that's getting the heaven spots nowadays that I would love to have too, and I'm gonna just, I don't know if I don't want to say his name wrong, Kesabi. That's KSBE. I'd love to get him.
I heard his ass, like, he's like really private. Like I've been wanting to get him up. I know people that know him, and I heard that
had
he's
artists,
very private.
Yeah,
but with your situation, I'm pretty sure you can get him on.
You know what? I've had artists reach out to him, and he basically said, thank you, but that's not really my thing. So I'm still hoping I'm still hoping one day, like, enough people put the word out. I'd even leave my truck somewhere for him to just go and hit when no one was looking, so to speak. So, but we'll see. But those are the 4 guys, and obviously, PK. If I could, get those 5.
The wish list.
Yeah, and there's always going to be somebody new and somebody. I got the list. Can I read this list? No. You can't do that here, sir. This is not the place for that. Now go ahead, brother. Get in there. This is now it's in no particular order. Okay, but and if I pronounce your name wrong, I'm sorry. It's not intentional. And if I didn't mention your name, it's just because I didn't post it or
you just don't matter that much. Be more memorable. You're not that memorable.
It's not personal. Okay, there's and I think this list is about 162, 63 names, and probably altogether. I'm gonna say.
Oh, you're gonna read all that.
Yeah, it's probably closer to 180, maybe even 200.
Should I beatbox while you do it? Because it's gonna be like a freestyle, like a funk flex.
Well, I'll read it fast. It'll only take a minute.
Good. I'm fucking with you. Take your time, brother. Get in there.
Sharpie, RHE, Order, Kid, Hope, Deck, Delay, Answer, Scent, Goal, Mags, Had, So, Daz, Tio, Hawk, High Five, AEK, James, OC, Hope, Sen, Chrome, Prez, Sen, Date, AM, Beatrix, Rage, Dung, Amuse, Minos, 9 Volt, Crook, Fade, Nems, Jays, Phasm 4, OG, Jasper, Dilly Dollars, Louis Styles, Earn, Goes, Snail, DL, rest in peace, FT, rest in peace, Cuzzo, rest in peace, and Case, rest in peace. Get Lost a Lot, GL, Tuma, Cynic, Tame 1, Gino, Hex, Pesos, JA, Ghost, Giz, Tapa, Yes 1, Beckett, Theme, Mastro, Such, Spot, KMS, PF1, Slug, Zos, Seos, Elon, JC4, Hectad, Ref, E-Rock, Keep, Goose, Clock, Cats, The Void Crew, Jasta, Stigma, Says, Risky, Siva 4, Doze, Jerky, Delk, Gravy, Spa, Soap, Cram, Ho, JB4, Giggles, Mega T2B, SS T2B, Dast, Keps, Roan, Neff, RB, Plez, PO, Bry, Vase, Jones, Trap, Rope, Verz, Mecca, Tone, Waste, Guess, Ron, Asa, Life, Meps, Ova, Chris RWK, Ebro, Dense, Esco, Tiz, Num, Snap, Meza, Sky, Zerk, Just, Extreme Limits, Dave, Moan, Non, Namer, SNE, Phenom, Ouncer, J-Fit, Maddie, Tyler, Babjack, Paco, Poet, Icky, Day, Detour, Kest, Ribs, Zerk, Doc 109, Ink 76, Rin 1, Fog, Cano, Braze, Menic, Exit, Gator, Civart, Fash, and Kesa. Now I'm out of breath.
Boom.
And there's
That
more.
was deep.
Yeah.
And there's more. That shit is fucking, it is, it's like a person with one tattoo and it's the whole body. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's your truck.
Yeah, that's my truck.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I know you said you're looking for a spot. As far as I'm concerned, as long as there's, 1 inch left, if there's enough room to throw up a tag and somebody has to tag the truck, they could tag it. I'm going to say probably, maybe not this year, maybe at the end of next summer, I'm going to get the outside clear wrapped. So once I get it clear wrapped, then the outside is
Done. It's
is shut
museum
down.
ready.
Yeah, is museum ready, because a lot of times, a lot of the tags on the outside, I have to wind up going over with markers and stuff like that after after a couple months, because the weather beats it up. So once it's 100% done, put it in a garage somewhere and go over everything where it's 100%, and then I'll get it wrapped, and then after that, it's just the inside.
So you're gonna do it yourself, like if the color is, you're gonna be like or you're gonna call the guys over to see what's up.
I've touched up a couple, like some. It's weird because some of the tags have stayed 100%.
Yeah.
Okay, for 3 or 4 years.
That's the part of the truck that's not getting hit with the weather.
And some of the trucks, some of the tags, after a couple months it'll fade. So I'll just go over it in the exact color that he had just to bring it back up to life. But once I put the wrap on there, then that's it. Then the outside is
That is so.
the outside is done.
I am so excited that I'm going to be a part of this. Whiskey No Chaser, which is me, is going to be a part of this situation. I'm excited. I can't wait to get outside and.
Yeah, you got to get some. Gotta get some pictures and stuff for the truck too.
Yeah. I'm definitely going to throw some pics up on my gram. This is a special occasion, man.
Well, I'm glad that I'm glad you had me back, and I want to thank a couple people. I want to thank my family.
Shout them out, man. Go ahead, bro.
I want to thank my family first of all. My wife Jen and my daughter Maddie. Thanks for putting up with all the craziness that this truck brings. You should only have to put up with it for another 10 years, so I'm sure it'll fly right by.
Pretty much the whole forever.
Yeah. So I want to thank them for putting up with all the attention, because I like it and I like talking about it when somebody comes up to me. But if we're out somewhere, I could see how maybe to them it might not always be.
It might be an annoyance, because you know what? Right now, Maddie might want to go home to do whatever she likes to do, practice dancing or whatever it is. Right. And now Daddy is stuck here talking to this guy, graffiti enthusiast.
Matter of fact, she has a dance studio that she started last year, a new dance studio, and she won't let me pick her up in the truck because she's kind of a little embarrassed with the other kids and stuff. But I told her, she
doesn't know how cool her dad is.
When you get to high school, these kids are going to think this truck is the coolest thing of all time. I mean, so.
How far is she? What grade is she in now?
She's going into the 8th grade now.
All right, so that next year after that, she'll be in high school.
So also, I want to really thank PK and Kid for being cool with me putting their name out there, because if either one of them had said in the beginning, this is no good, you're giving us too much heat, and we can't have our names out there like that, I would have had to shut it down. So that's why, people all the time, people will be asking me, they're going to be asking you, where can they get this shirt? Like, these are things that I make for myself with my own money. I don't sell it. Like, if I were to maybe auction off a shirt or two at Christmas, that's something that I'm donating all that money to charity. I've never made a dime off of the truck or off of anything with PK and Kid. So I want to put that out there. Like, people ask me, where'd you get that hat? Where could I go get one? Could you get me one for me? But I'm just making them for myself because I'm a fan. Somebody could go out and do the same thing if they wanted to. I'm not selling their stuff because I don't have permission to do that. And I wouldn't
who did
ask.
This for you? Paulie D and the Jersey Shore cast? you went to the store?
Yeah. No, I didn't go to the store. Matter of fact, I think for this I went to Lids. Yeah. And this license plate shirt, you could just Google it and find the place online that does it.
It does, I like it. It's pretty dope.
So it's nothing that I don't sell anything of theirs, and I don't have permission, and nor would I, even if they told me you could, I don't have the time to do that. I don't want to do it. It's not. This is their brand. It's not my brand. I mean, if they wanted to do it,
they do it though.
They would do it. They would and they could do it. They could do it, and they can make a lot of money, but they don't do it. So
they could be literally a tourist brand. They could become that. PK jerseys, PK and Kid, and sell the shirts. And people that come from other places would be like, "Oh, I saw PK and Kid live."
I'll give you a couple. I have them in my truck. I made up stickers. I made up Turnpike and matter of fact, Icky's the one that came up with the design for me. I shout out to Icky. And I made up a Turnpike and a Garden State Parkway sign. I kind of like made it different to represent PK and Kid, and I'll show you that. So, I posted it. I posted a picture of the stickers, and the last time I had stickers made, this dude on the internet named Graffiti Pete, he made them for me, and I literally had people writing me all over the United States and all over the world for stickers. Okay.
Oh, that's ill.
Okay, and I wound up shipping them out, and this time I really didn't promote them that much because I would have had, hundreds of people write me to send them stickers, and I just
don't have time for this.
I don't have the time. It's just too much. So basically, what I did was I made them to keep them in my truck. So when somebody comes up to me and asks me about the truck or says that they're a fan, I have something I could give them and say, here, take these stickers. So everything, like people have, when I did post just the stickers, people, when I was like, I don't sell them, people would DM me and be like, listen, I'll pay you, but that's not what I'm doing this for. I'm not doing this for money.
Very noble, man.
And I wouldn't do that. But the same person, if you want to get stickers made, they could go and make them yourself. I did all this just so I could have something to give out to, they're not my fans, they're PK and Kids fans. So I feel like, what, if they're going to ask me about the truck, if I have something that they could take home, stick on their refrigerator, whatever, it's something that they can remember.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's dope, man. Now, you get a lot of love, a lot of it. You also get some hate.
I do get some hate.
Talking some shit.
Yeah, I do get some hate. Yeah.
How do you deal with that? What are you getting? That has anything ever bothered you, or what's the craziest shit somebody said? All that in one, bang, go.
I guess the craziest thing was somebody, DM'd me and was asking me, when I have sex with my wife, do I think about PK and Kid?
I didn't expect that. I thought, like, what?
I mean, these people are just, they're clowns. And you know what? A lot of times, and
that's hilarious.
My wife gets mad, but I just think it's hysterical. Like people are just trying to get under my skin.
A rise out of you.
Yeah, they're just trying to get under my skin. People will write me and say, I'll use the word, I'll just say suck ass. I don't want to go crazy because my daughter's going to watch this. Are you a suck ass? You kiss PK and Kid's ass. You're nobody. You want to be them. I mean, just, I don't post all the hate, but some of it I do because I think it's funny because I think, man, if somebody took the time to write me, okay, maybe I have made it because, I mean, I'm nobody and they're writing me to tell me that they hate me. But meanwhile, those same people are following me and took the time to write me. I'm not
losers out there, bro.
I'm not following them. I mean, they're following me. So why, like my page is all, and I'll have people that have left comments under a picture and stuff. And it's like, it's hate. Like this is a positive page. Like
these are people that have nothing. Okay, they hate their lives.
Yeah, it's a positive page, and I'm putting them out there in a positive way.
Yeah.
Like, why take the time to do that? So I mean, that's
what they do.
It hasn't been, many times, but I've blocked people before, and that's why my page is private because I could probably have a lot more followers if I just made it unprivate. But everybody that requests me, I look at and I go through to see if they look like it's, if they have, 3 followers, I'm not accepting you on my page. If it looks like a legitimate page, then I'll accept you. But I get a lot of just bullshit requests where, I don't want people looking at my pictures or looking at my family or anything like that. So I'll I try to monitor as much as I can.
Even on my personal page, like I started my Instagram just for the podcast, and now I have both. And
Right.
I'm about to erase my personal page because I thought that my personal page was going to become the podcast page, but I also sell a product. I have other business, so I use that for that. That's the
Right.
only reason. But I'm thinking I'm going to start a website and then just have one Instagram for the the podcast, and then whatever shit I'm selling on my business, I just have it also on that website that I can have people come through the bio from my shit.
And,
I'm thinking.
Also from
Just a suggestion for you might work too.
Also from past experiences, I know for a fact that I have cops on my page. Okay. An artist did something that they probably shouldn't have done. Okay. And they bombed something that they probably shouldn't have bombed. It wasn't a good idea. And somebody posted, he didn't post it, but somebody posted the picture of what he did.
Yeah.
I commented on that picture. Okay. The person that did it, that did the bomb, was indicted. Okay, for that tag, because he wound up commenting on the picture.
Oh, saying, that was me or whatever.
Not that was me, but just they could tell, I guess maybe from his headline that this was the person that did it. So what happened was a cop got onto his page, started flirting with him. Okay, I guess it was a female cop, whatever. And he admitted in the DMs that, yeah, that was me. So they wound up, I guess, getting a warrant for his phone.
What a fucking cut. Fuck you guys for that. That's not right.
Wound up getting a warrant for his phone, and, he wound up getting arrested. And after everything and he was going to court, he hit me up and he was like, can I come to your house? I got to show you something. This guy had come to my house to bomb the truck. And I was like, yeah, all right. And he showed me the indictment. Okay, it was like 80 pages. And I was on 3 of those pages just because I commented on that picture. So these cops are out there and they are on social media and they are watching. Now, in the end, I didn't do anything, but in one of the things that they wrote about me, they said it looks like this guy, Little Mike 1970s tag name is so-and-so. I'm not even going to say who they thought that I was. Okay. So they do watch. Okay. They are out there and they do watch. So just commenting on a post can get you, actually, if that post somehow leads to something, okay, it can wind up, I guess maybe not jamming you up if you didn't do anything, but they could wind up looking at you. And even if you didn't do that, if they start looking at you and you're an artist, that could lead to other things.
Yeah.
One other quick story is when I speak to people online in DMs, I don't really ask a lot of questions because I don't like to ever think that I'm fishing for information. So I was speaking to someone and they said they were a fan of the truck, blah, blah, blah. They worked in South Jersey. I was down the shore. Could they come in and take a look at the truck? So I was like, yeah, no problem. So the truck was at my sister's house at the time. They hit me up. I'm in town. I was at the beach. I was like, I'll walk back now. I walk back and sitting in front of my sister's house is an undercover. So I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, was I set up? But I had talked to this guy for months and I, not ever given him any information because forget about like PK and Kid. That I would never, anything that I've learned, I would take to my grave. But any artist that has ever told me anything, I never repeat because I know that they're trusting me. So I never repeat anything. So he gets out and he was like, no, don't think that I'm actually a fan of graffiti and just a fan of artwork. So, and he wound up being really, really cool. Matter of fact, he wound up giving me a one of them cards, I guess. If you get pulled over.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, he's actually let me know when artists are being looked at. Okay, like because he doesn't do that end of fleecing. Okay, his job.
But he's like, hey man, this guy's being watched over here.
Right. You know, maybe tell this guy to. You know, they started.
Well, he's from Jersey or he's from Staten?
He's from Jersey.
Oh, right, right.
He'll tell me, you know, they started taking pictures because that's how they build the case. They start taking pictures of the tags.
Of course.
You know, so he'll say, you know, it's in the early stages, but they're starting to take pictures. So have this person or have this person just cool it. Obviously, you didn't hear it from me, but just tell them to keep it down. So that's another thing too. Guys have, you know, DM me.
This guy's a friend. This guy's a friend to graffiti, man. Lil Mike is a friend to graffiti.
I mean, these guys have, like, I've had people DM me and call me a rat. And I'm not like the absolute opposite. Like I'm tipping,
apparently you're the opposite.
I'm tipping people off. That's you know maybe just slow down for a
slow
while.
Down, man. Don't hit the same area still, bro. Get in there.
Go somewhere else. And those guys know who they are and they appreciate it. So you know, I try to get along with everybody. When you drive a car that's covered in graffiti, you can't be a fuck the police type of person because if I put that out there, I'm getting pulled over as soon as I pull out of here.
Even though when you did pull up, you did say fuck the police. No, he didn't. He didn't say fuck 12. Just kidding. Nah, and you know what? Anybody that knows the podcast, that's not how we feel here on the podcast. I don't feel fucking fuck 12. I have family. I have a mom. I have parents that I can't be there for. So I would like to have police patrol their area.
Right.
Because they need to be taken care of. You know what I'm saying? Without police, this would be the Wild West.
Right. Right. I mean, I get how a lot of the artists feel like they're trying to avoid them. So obviously that's how they feel.
They're not going to feel enamored towards them. They're not. Yeah.
And I really have to thank all the artists for taking me under their wing because how I liken it is that, you know, for somebody that has really never threw up a tag and is not in that world to infiltrate this underground society where you're really only dealing with other people that tag. Like outsiders are not going around hanging out with people that are tagging while they're tagging.
It's a secret society.
Right, it's a secret society. So I say it's probably easier for me to get into the mob without killing somebody and infiltrating them than for me to have been accepted in this underground world. So I appreciate it, and these guys trust me. And I would never do anything to betray that trust. You know, I would never. I've built up like this really good reputation. That's why when somebody does, I guess when you ask me, you know, what's the hate? It's when somebody calls me a rat or whatever. You know, it's nothing.
Has anybody got personal or disrespected your I mean, besides the weird ass comment, do you scream pecan kid while you have something? Like, come on, bro, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, no. Other than that, has anybody disrespected my family? Nah,
it shouldn't be. It's like, why?
No, they
you're not doing anything that's bothering anybody, man. To be honest, you're just like people that love the Knicks, right? They love the Knicks. They'll fucking decal the shit out of their car. Nobody bats an eye, right? So why can't you fuck with some other shit? You know, and
I mean, other artists have gotten, like recently too, actually, a couple of weeks ago, but this happens every so often. Artists have asked me, you know, why you fucking with this guy? I have a beef with them. Like I'm cool with everybody.
Has nothing to do with you.
I'm cool with everybody. Yeah. Like, you know, but everybody's got a beef with somebody. Some of them bigger than others, but I don't take sides. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, that's not your job. That's not who you are in this game.
And the most recently is somebody wrote me and was like, you know, why'd you post that picture? That's, you know, this person said this or did this to me. You know, I take that personally. And one of the last things he writes is something to the effect of, you know, you'll be hearing from me. And I was just like looking on my phone. I was like, is this fucking guy threatening me? I was like I got so, like, I was like, well, like, are you kidding me?
What?
Right. Yeah. So I wrote them back. I was like, dude, I'm fucking 50 years old, bro. I was like, you know, I have a family. I was like, I'll fight for my family. I says, you know, what is this? Like a fucking graffiti beef? I was like, are you serious? I was like, are you fucking threatening me? And I guess he realized what he said. He's like, no, you know, bro, don't take it like that. It's just that, you know, this guy did this to me, and you know.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with you.
That's what I said. I says, listen, you know, whatever goes on between artists has nothing to do with me. I try to get along with everybody because I got you guys rocking my truck, so I'm not gonna take sides. So I'm friends with this guy or that guy, and I don't take sides in graffiti beefs. I mean, that's really the one thing that I kind of don't get with the graffiti. To me, there's enough space for everybody to just rock their own thing, and I'm too old to deal with nonsense
There's a lot
like
of
that.
petty niggas from what I'm seeing, and I've just from conversations with other guys that there's always something. There's always going to be something. Someone's going to think that they're better than they're going to take your spot.
Yeah.
Now that's offensive. Like
Right.
you took my spot. You didn't even follow the rules and go and do a piece or a burner on it. You did a throw. You were a throw.
Right.
Now that's beef. I got to get at you.
Right.
Now that whole thing starts. Certain people, and there's a lot of egos in this game from what I've seen, and they don't give a fuck about the other person. So everybody thinks they're the best. It seems to be that from conversations. Everybody thinks they're better than everybody, and some people are disrespectful when it comes to it, and that's how the beef starts.
Well, there's a lot that
They're just assholes, man.
Right now in Staten Island,
Yeah.
I mean, Staten Island's blown up with graffiti, but every other tag is scribbled now because somebody went over the other person. It's like
That's annoying. I see that, and I'm like,
it's
I'm
like
yo,
everywhere.
I don't mind seeing a wall full of graffiti. I'm happy to see it. I just don't like seeing a wall full of buffs. People buffing each other, and it's like, damn, man, I want to see some dope letters out there. I want to see what you're working with. And they don't, think about that. But that's the thing. At the end of the day, graffiti people, they're not doing it for you or for me. The people that are watching, they're just doing it for themselves.
Right.
They want to see. Like when I used to write, literally, I didn't care. I didn't drive around. I used to go out of my way just to look at my shit.
Right.
I want to see it. I want to, and I know that that's what it is. You want to see yourself up more often, so that's why they go all city.
Right.
So,
And everybody's got a different style. Like I was just talking to one of PK's friends yesterday, and he said that when they were younger, they would bust PK and kids' chops and be like, why don't you come up with a better style? Why don't you? But their whole thing was they wanted their letters to be read. Like they wanted them, like when somebody drove by, you've never said, does that say PK? Does that say, like you knew that's what it said. And that's what they wanted. And that's their style. They didn't care about being fancy or throwing up all these crazy, it was just, PK kid. And that's it. And
I mean, you could have made it a little cleaner, a little nicer, guys. Let's be real. Could have made it a little cleaner, a little nicer. But, you did that and it's okay. So they're really, respect to them. They've taken the let's say, damn, I don't even want to disrespect them in no way, the toy style, and made it that, hey man, if I'm a toy, that's cool, but I'm gonna fucking hit the shit out of something so high that you can never get up there. So at the end of the day, I'm way better than you. Fuck style. It's about where I did it.
Yeah, in fact, someone commented not too long ago, was like, there's something about maybe, PK style is no good, or, he could have did something better. Or it was something like that. And I left a comment under his comment. It was something like, yeah, but the only difference is he has hundreds of thousands of tags and you don't. That's the only difference. And everybody in New Jersey and the tri-state area knows who he is. So. Yeah,
PK, for me, I think, came out before Kid. I mean, I don't know the story one, but from my knowledge, from my acknowledgement of the movement of PK Kid, I'm a truck driver, so I'm all over the roads, and I've always seen PK on highways, on where they're doing construction and shit, hitting places that you're not supposed to be at, because I'm like, oh, this is a person. The way I always thought about it, this is a person that works for some type of highway situation, and he gets access to places that nobody does. But apparently, that's not what it is. They plan their shit out, right?
Yeah,
they fucking take their time.
If they're going to hit, and now obviously they're much, much older, but when they were younger, if they're going to hit a major spot, it was something that it wasn't done on, on a whim. It was like, you know what, we're gonna plan it out, and that's one of the ways that they never were caught, because they didn't just go out there sporadically and say, you know what, we're gonna do this tonight. It was something that was planned out and something that was watched, and that's why they're two of the greatest, if not the greatest, obviously, in the history of New Jersey. Matter of fact, some of their spots on the way over here, they're still they're still rocking at a 25, 30 years old. So,
yeah, crazy. Wow.
The water tower coming down was that was kind of sad. That happened a couple of years ago, and actually, I wound up. This is how nuts I am. I wound up getting in touch with the demolition company that
I was
did
going to
it,
ask you.
and I spoke to the boss, and I was like, you wouldn't happen to have that kid that was on the side of the water tower, would you? And he was like, no, we junked, we junked the entire water tower.
Just to
I was
be able
like,
to come through with us and cut that out.
I was like, do you realize what you had? He says, well, I've seen, PK kid tags throughout New Jersey, but I didn't think, I was like, that's probably the most famous tag in the history of New Jersey.
Legendary.
I says, I would have taken it. He goes, well, if you would have taken it, you would have needed a flatbed trailer and a hanger to store it in, because you really don't realize how big of a tag it was.
No, but just to cut it out.
Right, to cut it out.
Get somebody with a welder to come through. It's going to take time. It's going to
matter of
cost
fact,
you.
I asked him, I said, would that have been something that you would have been able to, cut out and take, or you would have needed like a welding torch? And they said, no, that's the outside is kind of just sheet metal going around it. So you would have been able to I could have just cut it with a sawzall. I mean, that would have been like unbelievable to have. I keep once in a while, I'm like, maybe this dude will hit me up one day and say, you know what?
That shit is gone, son.
Yeah.
You know how much that's scrap metal. They take that money.
Yeah.
They don't give a fuck about what's on there.
I know.
They didn't give up. They saw that. Whoever saw it, they were like, what? I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Let's get the money. Because they get money off of that.
Yeah.
Demolition, the reason they do demolition, they get paid for demolition shit, and then they get paid for the materials that they take from there. So they're like, fuck you and your kid. Gone.
Yeah. So the other thing that I wish I would have got, they kid bombed the Peter Pan Diner years ago on Route 9, and he hit a window on the diner. It was a perfect PK kid tag, and I knew that they were going to demolish the diner at some point, because there was a fence around it for like 2 years.
Oh yeah.
But I just never took the window. I mean, I think I could have cut it out of there, and then I remember going to work one day, and the wrecking ball was already done. I mean, the place was completely leveled, and I was like, damn.
You could have just probably hired somebody to come just take the glass out or do it yourself.
Yeah, and I would have got some nice money for that.
Oh my God, you would have definitely got like 5 stacks for that.
Yeah, I would have got some nice money for that. So that's the only
artist, rich motherfucker that lives in Jersey would have bought it.
Yeah, somebody would have bought it.
Yeah, if I had money like that, I would buy it and be like, yo, I'm putting that on my house.
That's the thing too. It's almost just as important as to where it goes. I don't want the Durango one day to go to some like private collector that's going to keep it in his garage forever. I would rather it go to take less money, but have it go to where people could actually.
But what if he says he's going to drive it? I'm going to buy this, and I mean, probably nobody's going to want to drive that. But I'm just saying, like, and I don't mean it to disrespect.
Right.
I just mean like once they buy it, they're going to fucking want to display it somewhere. But what if they say, hey man, I'm going to buy it? Like, say me, I'm like, all right, I'm going to give you 70 stacks for it right now. You know what I'm saying? I want it. 70 stacks, give it to me. I want to do it I want to drive it, and then at some point, I'm going to probably put it in the museum myself. But I want it because I love it so much.
Yeah, I'd have to wait for that offer. But right now, if you would have offered me 70 right now, I wouldn't sell it. Because I'm still enjoying it. You know what I'm saying? Plus, I want to enjoy it down in Florida. Plus,
that's your dream. You want to ride out in Florida with the family.
Yeah, I want to ride out down in Florida, and I want my neighbors to be like, who the fuck moved into the neighborhood? What the fuck?
Who the fuck is this moolie that moved? Oh, what the fuck? What, you one of them?
As soon as I move in, I picture for sale signs going up all over the neighborhood.
This guy put the back down and everything. Let's get the fuck out of here.
So I wanna keep it long enough to enjoy it for at least a year or two while I'm down there, and then, God willing, then somebody will offer me a nice amount of money.
I'm telling you, man, you're going to get that shit into that museum. Now, I don't know if that museum pays money for it, though.
I don't know. I mean, if they said to me, like, I think our Basil's in December, it's probably not going to go on this year because of the world we live in. But say next year, they were like, you know what? We'll pay to ship it down here. and we just want to keep it in the museum for Art Basel, and we'll pay to ship it back. I would do it because it's exposure for the truck.
Yeah.
I would 100% do that, and when the time
put it out there, let's see what's up. Yeah,
when the time comes, I'll definitely gonna put it out there if they wanna have it for that week. Since I'll still be working, and I'm not gonna drive it all the way to Miami and back. So if they would want it,
they gotta insure it.
I would definitely be willing to do it.
I think that's a great idea and stuff, because at least before you get to the point of putting it out there, to get it properly, paid for which it deserves, you'll have people enthused with it already.
I have to, before I sell it, I have to have it well known more in the art community, art community, the hip hop community, because there's probably a lot of hip hop artists that would love to have something like that in their garage, So I mean, I have to put it out there more like that, but that's going to come in time, and that's going to come as I creep closer and closer towards retirement.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'll have some more time on my hands to do something like that.
I mean, it's getting full pretty fast. So I think you're gonna wind up putting that clear coat wrap on it before you do it. To be honest, because how much more? I mean, the only person you really need is Kid. Literally.
PK.
I mean PK.
Yeah.
Need PK on that bitch.
I need him on there.
He's the one. He's probably the stamp on it. But I feel that where the fuck is he gonna go? Because he needs a bigger. I feel like Kid and PK needed some bigger spots on the side.
When we go outside, I'll show you the spot that I'm saving, and then you'll say, "All right, I got it."
Yeah.
So there's a spot. There's a spot saved for him.
All right. Yeah, he needs that. He needs a special spot.
Like I said, if I knew what this truck was going to become, then
it would have planned it better.
Right.
But nah, it's
I
great.
didn't plan it. That's the thing.
It looks great, man. You got some dope heavy hitters on that shit. I mean, shit. Wow. Like when I saw it, it was, it's more majestic in person. It's like a unicorn. You ran into a fucking. If you love graph and you enjoy this shit, you look at it and you're like, wow, man. Yeah. This motherfucker wowed out.
And
this
it's funny.
A very expensive black book.
And it's funny. Cope, COPE. When I met up with him and he hit it after J.A. Giz and Ghost hit it, he hit me on a DM and he was like, why didn't you let me hit the outside when I met up with you? And I was like, sir, it wasn't planned. Like,
that was not the plan. It just happened.
It just kind of happened. If I knew it then, I would have 100% had you hit it.
Yeah,
but,
he's a legend, man.
But it wasn't planned, so he wasn't too happy about that. But
well, you know what? Switch up your style a little bit instead of 80s. And maybe you'll get it. I fuck with Cope, man. And please come to the show. But he does the same shit since back in the days, man.
That's somebody now that sells his art on eBay is like thousands and thousands of dollars.
Oh, yeah, the guy's getting money. Man, respect to him, man.
Yeah, he goes all over the world and does, he has galleries that put his art up, so.
Yeah. So he probably felt shortchanged.
Right, he felt like,
But you know what? I think if you would have asked, you probably would have been like, all right, fuck it. But he didn't ask.
Yeah, he didn't.
J.A. and them came through and they kind of demanded the spot, didn't they?
Yeah.
They were like, all right, you want some shit on the outside, motherfucker? Yeah. Here you go. Yeah. So Cope, ask for what you want, buddy.
Yeah. and that wasn't even even if he asked, I don't know at the time if it wasn't even a vision. Like it didn't really start blowing up. And it's ironic because it didn't.
You didn't know where it was going.
It didn't start really blowing up until after Cope signed the inside, and then I was like, "Damn, how the hell did he get Cope?" And then everybody kept hitting me up, sign, and that was another thing too. In the beginning, I was going to Queens, I was going to the city, I was going to Jersey, I was going to Brooklyn. Like I was driving all over, getting these people to sign the truck. So it took up a lot of time and a lot of energy.
And you were going to people, which is crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's the beginning, so it's not like people don't understand the privilege of the beginning. I was
going to a lot of people. Then, now more than not, people will come to me. I'm doing a show in Staten Island in about a month or so, and there's going to be a lot of dope artists there. So, any spots that are left are going to start to be taken up. I actually have another row of seats that are down, so I have more trunk space. I could actually lift those seats up, and those are more spots to
You just put me on. Hey, I got to take a piss. I'm going to do that right now. I'm back and stuff. And now let's get to the point where, just so you, can wrap it up because, we have been here a while.
Yeah.
And we've told everything and stuff. And I really think that, like I said, you're waiting for retirement, but this truck is going to be done way before then because, and you just said that you have, so it's the foldable seat, you said, right?
Yeah, I have it's the third row. So the third row is down. So there's obviously more when you open up the back tailgate. There's a very large space, but you could pull up those 2 seats that are down. So that those 2 seats have not been bombed at all. And the other 4 seats, the 2 seats in the back are pretty much 100% bombed. And the passenger and driver front seat is probably 50% hit. And that this is something that I sit on when I drive. And thank God that these spots have taken, and I'm not getting I'm not getting
purple. Up?
Yeah, I'm not getting purple paint on any of my shirts. But that seat in the back is still, for the most part, every time that I meet with somebody, those seats are down. So people wouldn't even know that they were there. So those are seats that, I would imagine if it's in a museum, those seats could be up and all the tags could be on there.
Once they're up, once you open it, will there be anything obstructed that's on there?
Maybe, yeah, you wouldn't be able to see like the side panels, like where you saw Go's hit. Maybe they would be a little bit.
Go's killed that.
That one might be obstructed a little bit, which is why I usually leave it down. Because when it's down and you first open up the back tailgate, it's like it's nice. It's just everything is just hitting you right there. So. I mean, that's just an option, but there are still spots on the inside where you could do a nice little piece. I mean, it's not what it was when it first started, obviously, but there's still, if you could, shrink your style a little bit, I guess.
Get skinnier markers.
Yeah. So, I mean, but there's always going to be the inside. I'll always let somebody rock the inside, but once I get the outside wrap, then that's going to be. That's going to be it. I don't know if you could put a marker over a wrap. I don't know exactly how that would possibly
once it's
work.
done, it's done, man. Yeah. I think once you've declared it filled up, it should be done, man. That's it.
And the inside, if somebody could find the spot, like I says, I go to the shore a couple times a year. There's always little kids that ask me about the truck or want to see it, and I'll let them, throw up their name on the inside of the door panel or whatever. It makes their day.
I ain't mad at it, man. I love it. I think you're spreading good gospel, spreading good cheer.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful thing, man. Now, what else are you a fan of? Before we go, I want to know what else are you a fan of? Because I know that you fucking love the shit out of PK, but I'm sure you do other things. You're a gym rat.
Yeah. Well, I haven't been to the gym in 6 months, or at least until. And it's funny too. Before all this COVID started, I told my wife I had like the best week of workouts I've ever had in my entire life. I was like, I'm going to be turning 50 this year. I'm going to be in the best shape. Yeah. And
Joe Rogan style.
And then COVID hit it, so that's kind of put that on the back burner. I like to.
You own your house though, right?
Yes.
So you probably have you have a garage. You live in South Jersey. Everybody has a garage.
Well, I live in Central Jersey. I do have a garage, but it's filled with nonsense. And the Durango would just barely, let's put it this way, if it fit into the garage, you wouldn't even be able to enter the house through the garage. So it's not a huge garage. So in the wintertime, I got a regular cover, and then I have a really good one. Weatherproof. That's kind of like double protection. So that's
okay. I got it.
That's really where it sits. And if it's like a nice Sunday or whatever, I'll take it. I'll take it to the deli, whatever, just to run it a little bit and then put it back in the cover. But I don't drive it in any type of snow, and I very rarely drive it in the rain. So, but definitely the snow, I won't drive it anymore. And so the tags don't get eaten up too by the salt, but I'm always worried that someone's going to hit into me or I'm going to get into an accident. So I just don't want to take any chances.
I get it 100%, man.
Even though if I did get into an accident, there would be 100 artists lined up to want to rock the outside again. But
Yeah.
but that would be but that wouldn't be a good day for me. So
I get it, man.
Yeah.
I get it. Get it.
Matter of fact, I hit a deer this past a couple months ago. It was during COVID, maybe in March, and I hit it with my Ford Escape, my wife's old car, and I thought to myself, man, if this would I was pissed off. This is the second time I hit a deer in my neighborhood. If this was the Durango, though, it would have been I probably would have followed the deer into the woods and strangled him.
I gotta eat this deer. The family will eat this deer this day. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just leery. I take it around the neighborhood, and I always go to the shore with it because, that's like celebrity status down in Stone Harbor with that truck, and I'll take it back and forth to work maybe once a week in the spring and in the summer just to ride it out. But other than that,
I mean, it's gotta be driven.
Yeah. Other than that, I don't really take it too much. If I like to, let's put it this way, I like to know where I'm going with it, so I know exactly which way I gotta go. And like I says, I take the turnpike and the parkway, Route 9. My neighborhood, I never get stopped. I never get pulled over. Matter of fact, the cops in my area will wave to me when I drive by. Yeah. So, it's all love. It's been all love in person. I've never got the hate that I get in DMs every now and then.
Always love in person. No one's coming at you that way. No one's
ever said anything negative to me.
Most haters are just that. They're just little trolls behind the keyboard doing this, and that's it.
And it's funny because some of the people that have said to me in the beginning, not people that have anything to do with graffiti. Oh, you're nuts. Why did you do this to your truck? I can't believe you did this. You ruined your truck. Now those same people are like, this thing's going to be in a museum. You're going to get $1 million for it. So it's kind of like now they see what it's become. And I didn't know what it was going to become when it first started. I just kind of said, fuck it, and just let it happen. And I guess everything happens for a reason. So.
And we're here now.
Yeah.
And that goes to show you, kids. Follow your dreams. Follow what you want. Don't listen to other people. Do whatever the fuck you want to do. And with that, sir, I want to end it. Because I think we got everything out. Unless you have something else you want to let people know.
I thanked everybody. I gave my shout outs. If I was going to mention something that I didn't, I apologize. But or if I didn't mention your name that you tagged it, next interview, I'll definitely give you a shout out. But thank you for giving me the opportunity to put this out there.
Absolutely, brother.
And, hopefully we'll see. Maybe the next time we sit down, maybe PK and Kid have one last monster heaven spot that'll rock for the next 50 years. So we'll see.
Or maybe they'll come with you to the next show. Show up, dudes.
I wouldn't bet on that.
I will bet on that because you know what? I'm a positive person. And that's how I feel. What I want, I get. And what you want, you should get, sir. You are a good dude. I like what you're doing. I mean, really, man. People judged you and made fun of you a little bit from what I've seen on your comments and stuff. But they're fucking dummies because they're bored and they're home doing nothing and commenting on what you're doing.
Right. Well, you know what? I think some of that too is they're thinking to themselves, this guy never tagged anything. Who the hell is he to do all this? But listen, it happened by accident. It wasn't planned. And as long as all the love is positive in person, then I'm gonna keep doing it until I get to Florida. So,
bro, there's people that collect baseball cards. They collect basketball cards. There's people that comment on sports. There's people that there's a lot of shit. And the graffiti game ain't different, bro. So at the end of the day, man, there's people that are gonna collect the cards. You're collecting the cards. It just happens to be on your fucking car.
Right, I got a rolling black. My black book is my vehicle.
Exactly. So at the end of the day, man, don't hate on this man. Hate on yourself because you're not doing what you want. He's doing what he wants. So live right. Yo, man, I really appreciate you, man.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming back after the bullshit. But I feel that the first one was great.
Yeah.
I think this one was better, man.
I agree.
Word is born, man. Thanks again, man.
All right, man. Thank you.
This Whiskey No Chaser. See ya. Chop, 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 chop.